Hello, everybody. What's up? Welcome back to Cooking with Movies and Cookies with your hosts Jackie and Jeremy.
I'm Jackie,
And I'm Jeremy.
and we're here to talk about the Prince of Egypt and the Ten Commandments.
Yes, that's right. We're excited to talk about these movies. Let's get on with it. So first, what cookies are you eating, Jackie?
Today I got mini cookies. I have this is Oreo chocolate. I think this is chocolate cookies and cream milkshake featuring Oreo. I'm pretty sure you do see the Oreo. So
Ah,
this
nice.
is I'm excited to try this one.
Ah, nice.
Second one I got is pink velvet.
Mm-hmm.
I've had red velvet, but I've never had pink velvet before, so I'm excited for this one.
That's awesome.
And the last one, but not least, I got is double fudge brownie.
Ah,
And you cannot go wrong with a brownie on a rainy day.
that's so good. As for me, so I'm gonna have to. Alright, I'm just gonna have to show the Subway. Alright, I got these from Subway. Um,
Oh,
so three of these cookies are like this would be like a macadamia. Oh wait, is that like a?
no, I thought I saw a blue M&M.
That's I think
I saw a blue M&M.
that must
No, I
be
saw a blue M&M because I
that
know I saw.
yeah that must be
I
a
think
macad
you are macadamia now.
yeah
I'm pretty sure.
that must be a that's a macadamia cookie. This is probably like a
Okay.
rainbow chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I'll put them all on my plates. Why did I just put this? Good job, mate. Excellent cooking presentation. All right. Anyways, I think we will get started with reviewing the movies. So first, we're going to talk about the Prince of Egypt, the animated one, and a much shorter movie. That's like around an hour and 40 minutes, or about an hour and a half.
That's great. Yeah.
Like yeah, this is one of the earliest movies from DreamWorks Animation, right before a few years before they split off and into their own studio. This is when they were still
Yeah.
under the preview of DreamWorks Pictures. Like DreamWorks Pictures was founded in 1994, like with by three people. How whenever you go into a DreamWorks movie, you see you see SKG. Like SKG
Mhm.
stands for freaking the S is for the man, the myth, the legend, Steven Spielberg. We all know who he is. Like he's the director of so many
Of
legendary
course.
films. Yeah, so many legendary films.
Well,
Then
we love Steven Spielberg, don't we?
yeah, he's awesome. Then K is um yeah, Jeffrey
Right?
Katzenberg.
Rick Katzenberg, yes, I knew that one.
And the J is for David Jeffen. I think he's like
That's
this.
right.
Yeah. So yeah, he found Jeffrey Katzenberg co-founded DreamWorks Pictures with these two after he got fired from Disney, which is something that I read an interview that he may have denied like he felt a grudge towards, but we know that he really definitely felt a grudge at least for a while. Like Shrek was evidence enough. Shrek was basically like I have a grudge against Disney in the movie.
Yes, that's right. It definitely pokes fun at Disney.
Yep. Yeah. I think Prince Egypt was kind of manifestation of that grudge a little bit because I know he said so he wanted to make an anime movie that was not like Disney movie that was not like Disney.
That's
He
very true.
he wanted to make something that's like he said it was into he sat down with Steven Spielberg, David Jeffen. He said he wanted to make a movie that was like in the vein of Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, or Terminator 2. Uh,
Right.
he wanted to make something that was great, and and then at one point Steven Spielberg told him, "You ought to do the Ten Commandments."
I did hear about that story, believe it or not, later on, but not right away.
Hmm. And I think David Jeffen was the one who said something like, that if you're going to do the story, you're going to have to, because that's not like just some silly little movie he could do. He has to do it. He has to do it right.
That's right. Yeah, you can't, just do Ten Commandments story without, doing a lot of without doing research.
Exactly, and that's what he did. Like they did the research. They brought in like so many important people of faith from all the three different Abrahamic faiths. Like they brought in they brought in scholars, they brought in theologians, they brought in leaders of like the Jewish, Christian, and Muslim faith
Yes.
communities. Yep.
Yeah. It's very, resourceful.
Exactly. And that's like especially in the beginning. Like what I liked about it in the movie in the beginning was at the beginning when they put the disclaimer when they said that like this while this movie does take historical and artistic liberties, they believe that it's like that still retains the essence of the story that's important to millions of people faith worldwide. And then they
Hmm.
said like something, and then they said that where the original story is available, that the original story is available in the Book of Exodus. What I also like is when the end credits as well. After the end credits, you know, while that Boyz II Men song was playing, they had three
Yeah.
different verses, like one from the Torah, one from Acts
Right.
in the New Testament of the Christian Bible, and then one from the Quran.
Right. Right.
Well,
I do like the whole melting pot of it all.
yeah, exactly. All these different communities, faith communities represented, which is awesome.
And I actually think they were trying to, bring communities together. That was, I think, the whole point of that scripture at the end.
Yeah, I think so as well. Like, he's saying, yeah, exactly. So it's like, it's really good. It really gets to those faiths, and it's beautiful. Now we're going to talk about the movie proper. Like, yeah, it's a hand-drawn animated movie with a lot of CGI effects, which was obviously a lot of CGI effects, and it's got like such a star-studded cast. I mean, Val Kilmer, like, may he rest in peace. I mean,
I know. I literally rewatched it again this past weekend, and I almost cried when I heard his voice.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I couldn't believe it. To this day, I still can't believe it. I'm still, trying to process it.
Yeah. I mean, like, he's definitely.
I think a lot of people are, not just me, but
Yeah, of course. Like, his death is just, it's really tragic and sad. Like, he dealt.
yeah. And I heard he was supposed to be a really nice person.
I mean, like, if he's heard that this nice person, then probably was, and the world lost a good one, like,
He did.
a talented actor. But what did you think of his performance as Moses?
Yeah, what did I think of his performance? I really liked his performance a lot. You could tell he really put the work into it.
Yeah, he really did. Like, he put in so
Not
much.
like, it's not like he overdid it or anything, but you could tell that he really did put the work into the acting.
Like, yeah, he really did. He really did put a lot of, like, effort into it. Like, he was just so good in the role. Like, he really communicated he brought vulnerability and depth, and also added the necessary power to Moses. Like,
Yeah, he definitely did. And also, I don't know if anybody else knows this. He also did the voice of the burning bush.
yeah, he did.
I don't know if that was credited or uncredited.
I know, like, in Wikipedia, like, it was said that he did do the voice of, like, Burning Bush of.
Yeah. Right.
Like, yeah, like, he definitely, like, he was great as well. Like, he really, like, in order to bring up the importance of God, he probably communicated his full, like, gravitas, the full power of, when you're talking to, like, the ultimate deity. It's like,
Right. That's very true.
yeah. And then what did you think of Ralph Fiennes as Ramesses?
I loved Ray Fiennes as Ramses. That was a perfect casting choice. Like, that guy knows how to play evil exactly.
Yeah,
He knows how to play. Like, I think Ramses. I didn't really think of him as a villain. I thought he was kind of misunderstood when you first meet him.
Yeah, he is.
But then you see him, like, gradually transition into a villain, which I think is really well. I think that's really good character development.
Yeah, it's great character development. Really great writing for him, and also like, he's like, yeah, just the voice actor, just like, yeah, he especially early on, like, you see, like, communicate, like, especially with both voice actors, Val Kilmer and Ralph Fiennes, they communicated, the love that they have for each other, and also kind of the missions they got into, and then later on, Ralph Fiennes communicated, like, the evil and just coldness and, the heart and heart, but also at the same time, like, you still see some of that, regret, you still see some of that love, like, in there.
Yeah, and I think, the part when he sees when he sees the staff transform into the snake, and he says impressive. I think he was, like, very surprised and shocked. I don't think you could tell there was, like, some anger, but it was like a basic mixture of surprise and shock in him.
Yeah, like, it was just,
oh, my brother's doing this. Like, what? I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, it's like, like, why is my brother turning against me? Like, why is he turning against our people?
Yeah, and I really like his backstory a lot in this.
Yeah, like, he wanted, he wanted to he doesn't want to be the weak chain linked in the chain. And that's why part of the reason why he becomes the way he is.
Very true. And then also in the beginning, they when the song "Deliver Us" starts playing and they reach that note, it literally gives you chills down your spine.
Oh, yeah, that entire song. Like, I don't remember where that note was, but I know that entire song was it's just amazing. It was powerful, it was stirring. Like they really began the movie on the great note.
They did, and it's just really like sad to see when you see Moses put in that basket.
Yeah, it was sad. Like he's how his mother saying that lullaby song and saying goodbye to him. Like they really nailed the heartbreaking part of it.
Yeah, I think the actress's name. She was an Israeli singer before she was in that role. I think I read.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and that's really cool. And I know that She also did the song in so many different languages as well.
She did.
Yeah, like
She actually did, but her life ended tragically. So
oh, it's sad.
yeah, she died very young. She died at only 42.
Just so many. It's just horrible. It's like so many people die young.
And it's just terror. It's really sad altogether.
Yeah, she really just like this part like role is definitely one part of her legacy. Like she really like she definitely like brought a lot of she brought so many emotions like as Moses' mother, and she's definitely like she would never be forgotten for that role, and definitely probably like we should look at other stuff that she did as well, like other songs from her down, other stuff as well. Um, yeah, like there's
Now,
also
I need to talk about Patrick Stewart because I didn't know he did the voice of the Pharaoh till recently.
like yeah, there's certain
I was
voices.
literally 10 years old when that film came out. I had no idea that was him.
And what did you think? What did you think of him as Seti, as the Pharaoh?
I liked him as the Pharaoh, and these actors and it didn't do a lot of voice acting.
Yeah, they definitely
So
didn't.
it was like okay, Michelle Pfeiffer, Jeff Goldblum, Sandra Bullock, Val Kilmer, like the whole cast. I don't think they did voice acting ever um until that film.
Hmm. I mean, they all did a great job. Like Patrick Stewart was just great as as the Pharaoh, like powerful and also like a affectionate father, like for someone who has these
And
expectations.
I kind of wish they gave him a song. That was like my only thing with that. Was like, why didn't they give him a song?
I have no idea.
I would have loved to see him have the Pharaoh at least have a song in that film, but I guess they wanted to keep it going.
Yeah, probably. Like they wanted to keep it at a short pace. It's an animated movie, so they wanted to keep it at a short pace.
Yeah.
And then there was Michelle Pfeiffer as Sephora. Like,
I heard before, I loved that casting choice. That was perfect.
yeah, like like in this one, like she was witty.
Sephora's not that sassy. I was like very surprised by that.
Yeah, like yeah, she was pretty fancy, witty, spunky. Like,
And I liked her, and I also liked her green dress that she had on.
oh yeah, she had some great dresses like in that in this movie.
Yeah,
And then there was who else? Sandra Bullock as Miriam. Great role as well. Jeff Goldblum as Aaron.
yeah.
Um, great as well. And
Actually,
then
no, I think Aaron looked a little like Jeff Goldblum a bit. I don't know if anyone saw that.
they probably modeled him like they
Oh,
probably
like
it's
not
common.
like
Yeah, it's common to do that in animated movies anyway, especially later
we
on.
do.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um, and then of course I think the final two like I don't know. There's Danny Glover like as well. Like
Danny Glover, yeah.
who did he play again?
He played Jethro, her father.
Oh yeah. Like it was
That was a good casting choice. Like
yeah.
that was perfect.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. Like he was definitely he was great as the father. Like he was very enjoyable in the role.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Then you also have Martin Short and Steve Martin, which I
Oh
thought were the standouts, basically.
yeah, they were standouts in the movie. Like they have great.
They were just comic relief, but then as you see gradually go on, they are villainous.
Yeah, they are villains. Like they really were against they were against Moses and he's God, and they were trying to
Yeah,
basically they were basically trying to prove you think your God can do all these amazing things? Look at what we can do. What we can do is better.
yeah. The snake did not like them.
Nope, absolutely not.
did not like them. Let's just say that.
Yeah, absolutely freaking not. And then now we're gonna talk about the story and the writing. The story
Yeah,
writing was absolutely top notch. Like they really did. Like it's definitely like honestly like I know like back when I used to like be more of a like fervent Christian. I did start reading the Bible. I think I know I read the New Testament. I think I started reading the Old Testament, Genesis, but I don't think I've
okay.
ever really read Exodus. But I do know the broad beats of the story. Like like Moses. Like obviously Moses was sent away by his mother. Like he was adopted. He was adopted
Yeah,
and
he was adopted,
raised as a
but
prince.
he
Yeah.
yeah, but he didn't know about it till later on that he was not, you know,
Yeah.
he was not, related to them.
Yeah. Like that. He was Hebrew. He was.
That's what they called that back then. They didn't.
Yeah. Nowadays you call it Jewish. Like it was Hebrew Jewish.
Right. That's
Israelite. Like and then of course he finds out. Then I think he kills an Egyptian because he was doing something bad to one of his people.
yeah. The guy, I think, the guy was getting whipped. I believe. I think that's what happened.
Yeah. Like in the story or the this movie. Oh yeah.
That's the thing. When Moses did that, they kind of made him a little more humanized character that I liked.
Yeah. Like it did make it more
That he was
humanized. Yeah.
taking a stand, it was showing that he was taking a stand.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
Like
I'm done with this. I'm done with this. I'm going to stand up for this. Do what's right.
exactly. Which is just a really great moment. And then obviously we know the rest of what happens. Like he goes into Exodus. Like he
But
finds
then
Zipporah,
here's the
marries
thing,
her.
like Ramses was like, "Oh, we can take care of it." And I'm like, "No, you can't."
Nope, absolutely not. Like that was just they're just gonna keep enslaving the people, and it's just like yeah, like the way they had Moses, like basically Moses, like before, like yeah, he didn't like yeah, like I liked how like how they did the relationship between him and his brother, they really emphasized how much they loved each other, the trouble they used to get into. Like
Yeah,
yeah, I think they emphasized that Moses kind of was the one who was the more cheeky one out of the two, and he got them both out in trouble. But then he knew how to get Ramses out of trouble. He actually helped him, give him a greater role.
right. He did.
Hmm. And then later on, obviously, he found Miriam and Aaron, and Miriam was the one who told him, like, you're not a prince of Egypt. Like, he's, oh, you came to save us. He's like, wait, what? No, like, no, you're not. No.
No,
Obviously, and he was very cold. Like, he was very cold and rude. Like, he didn't really care about the slaves at the time.
he didn't.
And then ultimately, like he was told. And then ultimately, I really liked how it was interesting how they made him find out as well. Like like the Miriam sang the song that the mom sang. Then they made him like,
Yeah,
wait a minute. But he was like, wait a minute. Like
he's like,
that's
"Oh, now I know."
like yeah, exactly. Like, I'm surprised he still recognized even as a baby.
Then it goes into "All I Ever Wanted," which I think is a really good song that was
Yeah,
written.
exactly. Like like he's still like, oh, he's focusing on the life he has, all the stuff he has as a Prince of Egypt. It's like that's all I want. I can have everything I want, but you can see
Yeah,
like him
and then
definitely.
he finds out the truth, and that's where it leads to.
Yeah, exactly. And then like that. Can I say as well? Like the animation they did for the hieroglyph scene, like it was just such a. I was surprised they did. It was such a. It was just really a visually striking, creative choice of how they
That
did it.
was a good animation sequence. Like I first saw that, I thought it went like so fast immediately.
Yeah,
It was like a very fast paced animation with the hieroglyphics, which I thought was really cool.
yeah, it was amazing how they did it.
And also, one of my other favorite songs is "The Plagues" from it because I just think it's a great song.
Oh yes, the plagues. Like that was an amazing song, and the way they went for all the plagues fast, but they definitely showed the effects they were having
But
on the people.
they were showing it, which I liked. They didn't just tell it; they showed what was actually going on.
Like they like this animated movie from 1998. Obviously, back in then in the 90s, it was very common for animated movies to be dark. I mean, the last movie we did for the podcast, The Lion King,
Mhm.
showed Mufasa's dead body. That's hardcore and very
Yeah,
unheard of. Like heard of back for animated movies back then. Prince of Egypt definitely went a
right.
step further. Like they
They
really
did. They took it up
they,
a notch.
yeah, like yeah, they didn't skip on anything. They didn't like sugarcoat anything. There was like here's what's happening. Here's what's happening to the people. Here are the plagues. And this is why the plagues are happening. It was like oh, it was just so well done. And
Yeah, you also can't forget about Playing with the Big Boys Now, which I thought was really good.
Oh, that's like yeah,
That's like that's the perfect villain song.
that's
That is a perfect villain song.
yeah. It was fun. It was fun. It was balanced, but at the same time, it was still had that sinister feeling to it, and like yeah, you can tell he's the sinister feeling to it. Like it was just a great song all around.
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
and then there was a song I really liked earlier on, like when Moses like met the people of met him, met the
Yes,
father, met Jethro and Zipporah. Look at your life through heaven's eyes. That's a beautiful
I
song.
like that a lot. They did really good songs for that film.
They did. They really did. And
And
then
it wasn't like, they took covers of like they took old songs and decided to cover them. Those are like really well written original songs that I thought were really good.
and it's all because of Steven Schwartz, who early on, who I think he did like Hunchback of Notre Dame for Disney.
He did, yes. And fun fact, he also showed up in Wicked as the guard who says the wizard will see you now.
Oh yeah, I think I heard that. That's great as well. That's just great when the composers can make an appearance as well. Is there one more song to talk about as well? One more song that happened in the movie. Oh, When You Believe.
Oh yes, we can't do that. We gotta mention that.
Like when they had Miriam, everybody like singing out that. What they did was beautiful because it was after everybody was free.
Yeah.
You feel
Fun
this.
fact, that was not Sandra Bullock's voice. That was somebody else who did her
Yeah,
singing.
yeah. That's yeah. For some of the acts like Val Kilmer and Sandra Bullock, they replaced them with different singers. But so Michelle
Yeah,
Pfeiffer.
I mean, I wish I could have actually heard Val Kilmer, but the person who did it, who sang him, was really good.
Yeah, like at first, but that was Val Kilmer. Like, oh, then learn on with it. Oh, it was
I
just.
thought it was him at first, and then I had to look at the credits, and I was like, oh, it's not.
Mm. But yeah, like all the ground songs are great, and the end credit song "When You Believe," Mariah Carey, and Whitney Houston. I've listened to that song so many times. Like,
Yeah,
such a beautiful song, beautifully done song.
I know. And then as you know, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo covered it. I think this was pre-Wicked.
Yeah, I mean, you showed me that cover. Like, that cover was just
Wicked.
amazing.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I know of it.
Yeah,
I was really surprised about.
yeah,
So
just amazing, absolutely amazing. Like cover from the both of them.
yeah,
They did a great job. They were worthy. Like they were like they did a cover that was worthy of the two original singers of that version.
yeah. It's such a great song.
Yeah. There's something I want to say, like two things I want to say about the movie. Like we're gonna get into the differences between we're gonna get into the things that the Prince of Egypt did different on Ten Commandments when we talk about the Ten Commandments. But
Yeah, great.
what I
Because
want to
there's a few differences. There's a few differences I did notice between them, but we'll get into that.
yeah, but what I really like about this movie, I'll put the what I really liked is the fact that like so many people, especially later on they love this movie. Like they consider one of the greatest DreamWorks animation movies and one of the greatest animated movies of all time. And there's two
Right.
reasons. It was like one,
Yes.
like this is very different from what DreamWorks animation would usually do. Like later on, like obviously later on they would do
Kind of
Shrek.
like
Hmm.
it's kind of like thinking outside the box in a way,
Yeah, it was like
which I like. I like stuff like out of the box stuff
yeah, it's
because
like
if you keep doing the same thing, it just gets old. So
yeah, exactly. And they kind of did do the same thing a little bit later on. It's like just before Grand Prix Egypt, they released the movie Ants, which is definitely a little bit more like their CGI comedies.
okay, yeah,
And then obviously a few years later after Prince of Egypt, they did Shrek. That was like that set the game for them. That was the most successful movie, anime, and so successful movies for them. So then, I think after Spirit Stallion, Cimarron, and Sinbad came out, they just didn't really didn't really make enough money. So they thought, oh, let's just start doing these.
bad. I didn't see the Sinbad movie.
Me neither. I didn't see Spirit either.
Oh, the horse movie.
Yeah.
I saw part of it, but I didn't get. I couldn't. I guess I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing. But
Yeah. Well, this was the first time for everything. So yeah, like it's not doing movies like that. And then they did like Shrek 2. They did Shark Tale, Madagascar. Like,
yeah, they did.
They always say Shrek 1 and 2 are great movies. Everybody loves Shrek 2, for example. And everybody loves Shrek 1 and 2, especially 2.
Right.
Shark
Yes.
Tale, a lot of people don't like that.
No. Oh, Shark Tale.
Oh yeah.
Shark. I didn't see that one.
Oh, I saw it. Like I grew up with DreamWorks CGI movies. I need to rewatch it, but I know Shark Tale definitely like a lot of people point out this is like the nadir of DreamWorks. Maybe a lot of what DreamWorks is doing wrong back then.
Right.
the pop culture references, the celebrity stunt casting, or like like they really did that a lot, and they really did that a lot, and basically because of them, a lot of anime movies started doing that as well.
Mhm.
But then later on,
Right.
they still make great movies later, like they made Kung Fu Panda, How to Train Your Dragon. The,
I love Kung Fu Panda.
yeah, me too.
All because I like pandas.
Oh yeah, it
I
just
love pandas.
yeah, and the story, characters, animation, everything, and actually everything about it is just amazing. We'll,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll talk
Right.
about maybe those could be future picks we could talk about.
That would be great. I would love that.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, but Prince of Egypt was so different. Like for these movies, I had a more serious tone. It was darker. It was hand drawn.
Yeah.
It's just sad they stopped making movies like that, and they stopped making
I
movies in general.
know. They did. I know. And it's like really, it's a shame in a way.
Yeah, because they can't do it. Like we, and they can't do movies like this anymore because back it's a different time. Back in the '90s, you could get away with movies like that. Whereas these days, you just can't.
Yeah, that's the thing now. Like, you can't get away with a lot now.
Yeah, exactly. Um, and then there was a second thing. A lot of people are like, obviously people have different faiths. People like all the faiths described in the movie. Plus, even people that don't any of these faiths, like atheists, agnostic people, non-religious people, they also love this movie as well. And I gotta
They
say,
do.
this movie works so well, even if you're not religious. Like
Yeah.
songs like
It kind of gives you insight into everything.
it does. Like yeah, it definitely it gives you like that kind of sense of it gives you that essence of the story, like why Moses and God did the things they were doing.
Yeah.
And it really makes you, and I mean, most importantly, it makes you, feel for the slaves, and it makes you root for their freedom.
Right. Of course. Of course. Well said.
Yeah, and then like and songs like "Look for Heaven's Eyes." Like when I was watching it, I was like, I realized that yeah, it's not only can people religious people can relate to it. God is God is the one who's guiding our lives, and He'll show us. Show us who we are and what we should be later. It's like even people who are non-religious can say, like this really shows how like even if we can't see it right now, eventually like we'll realize what our life's about. We'll find ourselves. We'll find who we are.
Right. True.
It's the universal, relatable to everybody. It's just and of course they really emphasize feelings of oppression. So like the people are being oppressed. You have to stop oppression. Like if you're complicit in oppression, you have to like you have to do what you can to put a stop to it and
Right.
and
Of course.
help.
Of course.
And then what I really liked is when Moses tried to help him the first time and then he failed and then the people were angry at him and I was like, why do you care now? Why do you care now? Like you didn't care
Yeah, I
before.
know. But, it's just like trying to show humanity in a way.
Yeah, exactly. And then even what I like they told him was they told him you only care about us because you learned you're one of us. He's like, no, you're right. I did. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do better.
Yeah. Well, at least he did better. So.
He did. He did all he did. Yeah, we gotta talk about the animation. The animation is just absolutely amazing. Like
Yes. Really.
they say animators actors like what I like the realistic style they did for the characters and what I like is like they still showed all the emotions and
Right.
the animators and actors and they did it and that's such a great job. And also what I like some of the scenes were like with the plagues or that
Mhm.
iconic scene we're gonna talk about in a bit.
Yeah, and then you have the parting of the Red Sea, which I thought was really good animation.
Yeah, that scene was just absolutely powerful. Like it was really amazing animation. It really captures the power of that moment.
Yeah.
Um,
And
also,
that shot of Ramses where you see Ramses like all alone, it's like, yeah, you're done.
exactly. And
You're done. This is your karma now.
exactly. Like he became the weak link, and he didn't have to be. But he could have just listened to Moses.
Yeah, he could have, and I agree with you completely. He really could have done that.
He lost his son. You didn't think that was enough for him. He still went out.
Because Ramses was influenced by his father. That's what really got to him.
Exactly. Yeah.
The power got to him because he was appointed that position, and it got to his head. That was the whole thing.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh no, we're gonna have to finish up. We're gonna finish up this part now. Open to was absolutely amazing. What cookie crumbs do you give it, Jackie?
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5 for me as well.
5 out of 5. Yes.
Yeah. And now we're gonna move to the next movie in a bit.
Okay.
All right. And we're back.
Yes, we are.
We're gonna talk about like the next movie, the adaptation of the Exodus story that came like that's almost 70 years old.
I can't believe it. Can you?
Me neither.
70 years. Where did the time go with that?
I know, like time always flies. Now, we're here to talk about the Ten
Ten
Commandments.
Commandments.
Yes, this movie came out in 1956. It runs for over 3 hours, like 3 hours and
50
51
minutes.
minutes.
Yes.
Almost 4 hours. It's just insane. Back then, movies like I never even knew movies could run that long back then until I read about it as well. Like movies back then in the 50s, especially like the epics in the 50s, especially the epics, they had these long
Yes.
running times.
Mm,
Mm.
they did, didn't they? Especially Gone with the Wind.
Oh, I like that would have been 3 hours, eh?
Yeah,
That
it
was
would.
that was 1939. Oh, and Godfather came out in 1974. That was like 3 hours as well. And
2 hours and 55
yeah,
minutes to be exact.
yeah. But anyways,
Yeah.
we need to get into the movie. So, this movie was directed by Cecil B. DeMille.
Yes, that's right.
I think he produced it as well.
He did. That's right. And actually, this is a remake of his own silent film
Yeah,
before it became popular today.
exactly. Like I was surprised by that, but it's like he really loves that story.
He does.
And of course, the movie has a stacked cast. Well, you have Charlton Heston. You have as Moses.
You had Yul Brenner. You had Yvonne DiCarlo.
Mm-hmm.
You had Edward G. Robinson. You had a lot of names back then that were very, very popular.
Yeah, even including Vincent Price, who was popular for like a lot of his horror
Price, right?
movies.
Yes, that's the Price,
Yeah.
which I was very surprised to see in this movie.
Mm. Yeah, because like you know him more for his horror stuff, eh?
Right, he was very known for horror.
Mm. He's also Radigan in Grey Mouse Detective.
Okay,
Oh,
I haven't.
I haven't seen that movie either. But yeah, like we're gonna get right into it. So, all right, and we'll talk about the differences that that this movie had with Prince of Egypt. So obviously, the beginning of the movie, like instead of the disclaimer as from Prince of Egypt, it had like it had something. It actually had an intro from the director himself.
That's right, it did.
Like he was talking about like how like like this movie is based on the story of Exodus, like how like it goes into these things of whether man should be controlled by man or follow the laws of God.
Right, correct. That is very true.
Like
I did like the opening of that because it was very, there was a lot of truth to it.
yeah, exactly. There is. It's a great opening and it really sets the tone for the movie.
Yeah.
And obviously the movie had different like you had the overtures at the beginning.
You did have the overtures, that's right. Yeah, you had the intermission.
Intermission.
You had the entr'acte.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm saying that right, but
I think it means like before like I don't think my friend told me I was watching the movie last night with my longtime best well not a few days ago my longtime best friend.
right.
And then like yeah I think he said he looked up he said I think it means something like after act not after act I think or before or something I need to look I don't know I forgot now. And of course, in the end, it's like they had like I think like they had obviously they played like end song and music.
Right.
And yeah, as with the movie proper. So this is a really big movie. Like it had such an epic scope and scale.
And it had a really star-studded cast as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what do you think of Charlton Heston as Moses?
I liked him as Moses. I thought it was very profound and very captivating.
Yeah, like it's definitely great.
He really got into the role.
Yeah, he did really get in the role.
He threw himself into the role, which I thought was just amazing.
Wow. It's like so he did a lot of preparation stuff, hey, did he?
He must have. He's a very, very tall guy, so
yeah, he has that physique. Yeah, what I liked about him was he has his charm, he has his confidence.
Yeah, definitely.
And he had that powerful gravitas as well, especially later on.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, like he was so great. Like he was amazing. I really liked him as Moses.
I definitely, and I would ask you what you thought about Yul Brynner as Ramses.
Oh, also great casting as well.
Yes, I think he really got into that role.
Yeah, he did.
He really got into the role. I have a feeling they probably did method acting with that.
Oh, method acting. Oh yeah, that was like back in the 50s. That was starting to become more of a popular technique. Like actors like
Yeah.
Marlon Brando were popularizing it.
Yes, and also modern days Daniel Day Lewis as
Yep.
well. So.
Yeah, exactly. And Robert De Niro did some method acting too.
Oh, that's right. He did. You're
Mm.
right.
Mm. Hmm.
You're right about that.
Hmm. You get to learn about these fun facts for movies and cookies.
And then also you had Yvonne De Carlo as Sephora.
Yep, she was great costume there as well.
They kept pronouncing her name as Sephora.
Oh yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
not sure what that. I'm not sure what that was about, but you know. Also, a fun fact: if anybody shops at Sephora, that was named after Moses' wife.
Hmm. So what was it like? You know that what brand did they like support?
Sephora's the makeup brand.
Oh yeah, you told me about that as well. Like that's fascinating.
Oh, that was interesting. I did not know that. Like I knew the name, but I didn't know where it was originally where they got it originally from.
Yeah, like it's awesome. Yeah, it's really cool. um, and then who's the actress that that somebody the character that wasn't in Prince of Egypt? Who is that actress that played the one that Moses was with before? Was it Sephora?
Oh, Nefertiti, his sister.
Oh, he said. Oh, that's the thing. That they're supposed they're siblings.
Baxter.
They're
His name,
siblings.
I think, his name was Ann Baxter.
Oh yeah, that's right. Anne Baxter. Like
Yeah,
she was great as well. Like she really played that kind of like that charming, captivating, but also
he was like a
slime.
pending Pal, I think.
Like she was definitely very slimy too. I mean, like
Pal. She's entitled.
yeah, entitled, and then
She's like one of the most entitled characters throughout that whole movie. She really is, and it just like annoys you to the point.
yeah. My friend Devin, when he was watching, he didn't like her.
I think that was the whole point. She's not a likable character.
Yeah, she's not a likable character at all. It's like Moses could do better, and he did do better. And then later on, like she betrayed him. Like she told like Ramses to to kill him. Like make sure you show me his blood. Like damn,
Yeah,
you betrayed him.
she knew about the whole. She knew about Moses's origins,
Yep.
but like they didn't really like. The old woman told her about it. That was how she knew about it.
Yep. And
But
then
he didn't know until she told him.
exactly. Something. All right. Now we're gonna get into like the plus like I think like who did Prince before we get into the story like who did Vincent Price play? I thought he played a character
Oh,
called
Baca. He played the
Baka,
architect.
the architect. Like
I thought was interesting.
yeah, it's a really cool role. And then and you told me Edward G. Robinson played the what was his name again?
Dave,
That really annoying guy.
Dathan.
Oh, Dathan. Oh yeah, he was
Yeah.
like
The thing is that there's a lot of names in this movie. I couldn't remember all of them.
just great, but great casting, like and introduced.
Honestly,
Hmm?
yeah, there's no miscast in this one either. So
Yeah, and definitely some old actors. Then I'm gonna have to check out in the future as well. Hmm.
yeah, definitely do that.
Yeah, like especially like Charlton Heston, Yul Brynner, Vincent Price. Hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and Baxter too. I can check out stuff she did as well. Like she was really good in her role. Now we're gonna get into the story and the characterization and writing. Like, I mean, this is where we're gonna start getting to the differences between this and Prince of Egypt. Obviously, one difference is this movie's not a musical.
That's right.
That's like the most obvious duh point.
The most obvious fact ever. So
And obviously, for instance, almost 4 hours.
it was 4 hours, right?
All right, and then it's about Moses. Like
Mm-hmm.
the portrayal of Moses is definitely very different. Like
Yes, definitely.
all right, so like for example, right? Like when in Prince of Egypt, when Moses found out, he didn't want to believe it at first. He didn't believe it.
I believe it. That's right.
And then when he basically had that dream about the hieroglyph, and then
Yeah.
obviously Miriam singing, like that's when he found out. But in this
Yeah.
one, but in this one, interestingly enough, he actually didn't have any doubts at all. He was like, oh.
Yeah, he was more surprised over shocked, I think.
Yeah, I think he was more inquisitive too. Like he wanted to figure it out himself. He was like, oh, okay, I better investigate this then. I better go ask ask my mom. I better go find my actual mom.
Yeah, go to bed, right.
Actual mom and try and confirm it.
Yeah. That was I was going to bring up the fact that in Prince of Egypt they didn't have a scene with him and his mother. This one they did, which I think was very very interesting
Yeah, they
because
did.
it gave more context to it.
Yeah, exactly. And it was a really beautiful scene. Like like the first, the adopted mom came and she was telling like then you have to deny him. You have to deny him. Deny you're his mother. At first she did, but then after he was kind of he kept asking. He was like, you have to swear to me. You have to swear to me. You have to look me in the eyes and tell me you're not my mom. And then she's like, I can't do it.
Well, she wanted to say her truth, so
Exactly. She protect him and keep him safe. That's why she did all she did.
right,
And what I liked about it is like how they humanized the mom as well. Like the Egyptian mom.
right, yeah,
Like the reason why she took in like Moses was because like she lost her husband, she couldn't have a kid.
yeah,
This was a chance, and
yeah, and all those things are really really sad if
yeah,
you think about
it really is sad. And then like even when she found out, he's Jewish, he's Hebrew, it's like she still wanted to take him in.
it. Yeah, I know that's really heartbreaking in a way.
Yeah, it is. And she's just like a great character. I mean, later on, like she joins him as well, like, and she's one of his
Yeah,
support, and she supported him. Like
yeah.
that's a
She's like
great.
I had,
Hmm?
she's like I had enough of this. I'm going.
Exactly. She didn't. She didn't. Wasn't. She was against Ramses.
Yeah,
And then all right. Also something else I wanted to start is like obviously this Moses, he's very Charlton Heston's Moses, he's very confident, especially in the beginning. He was very confident.
yeah,
He al-
definitely. Yeah,
yeah, he definitely did a lot of stuff. Like he fought as well. Like he brought in the people from Ethiopia,
right,
but also he's known for being very friendly. Like he was very friendly. Like he gained the favor of the Ethiopians.
right, correct.
Yep, and also he was also actually pretty surprisingly kind to the Hebrew slaves as well.
Right.
Like like for example, like he saw that they're not eating, like they're being too tired. There was an old lady that needed that she got caught in the rock and no they weren't
Yeah,
they
that
weren't
made me want to cry. That scene.
yeah that scene was horrible. It was
That
horrible.
it was. They just didn't care.
Exactly, they didn't. It really just showed the inhumanity like back then, the inhumanity of having slaves and just
Yeah,
why they
and
treated. Hmm?
yeah.
What are you gonna start? What are you gonna say as well?
Well, also, I think that I also like when they didn't have a forced romance between Moses and Sephora in this.
Hmm.
I know the scene when they said, I know there's the part where he's seeing her other six sisters dance, and she's just like, they're like, "Oh, Sephora, are you gonna dance?" She's like, "No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna tend the sheep. I'm not gonna be an object."
Yeah, which is just really just a great moment there as well.
Yeah, and then like Moses comes up to her like later on. She goes, "Oh, did you pick one of my like?" It was like, "Did you pick one of my sisters to marry?" He's like, "No," and then you see like the tie around the hands, and it's like, "Oh, it was like, oh, and he chose her."
Exactly, and they really did. What they did was it was just such a great moment. Like, they were talking, they were getting to know each other a little bit,
Yeah, right,
and she was asking him, "I can tell like you have a heartbroken heart," and he was like, "Yeah," and he was asking her
right,
questions. He was asking all those questions like, can you be the one to heal my broken heart? Can you like?"
yeah, true,
She was like, "Yes," and he liked it because she was different because she was different from the other girls, and
yeah,
he really felt for her like simplicity and humility.
yeah. She's a well-written character, I think.
Yeah,
So
she really was. She really is. And
yeah,
oh wow, like I like the movie, but now that we're talking about the good things, I'm like, wow, this movie's really great.
it is. Yeah, definitely. It's one of the classics.
Exactly, it is. But it's like, yeah, definitely, it has its known as one of the greatest movies of all time. I dropped some cookies.
Oh no.
Hmm. At least, even the one on the couch. I'm gonna have to clean that up. Oh my god. Good job, me. Sorry. Okay. Gonna have to be careful from now on.
Okay.
But anyways, we'll keep going as well. Um, Yeah, like yeah, and yeah, like he was very kind. He was very kind. Moses was very kind to the people. He wanted to, he gave them some food. He gave them all the grains.
Yes.
Like even from the start, he was helping them.
Right.
Obviously, which is very different from Prince of Egypt Moses, who didn't care at the start.
Right. Right. It was a major difference I saw in that.
Yeah, and then obviously like when he found out, obviously when he came to the father, when he came, he was arrested by the father, and then arrested by the father, and he said, "Oh, like would you betray it? Would you betray us?" He said, "Are you this deliberate?" And he said, "No, I'm not. But if I could help my people, I would." That was like hands down great moment.
Right. Yeah.
And then later on, obviously, like he got sent to exile, like and then you could tell, like he was crying as well, especially because he was losing, he couldn't be with the woman he loved back then at the time,
Yeah.
and they really showed the journey through the desert, like how he survived that, so it was great as well.
Right. Yeah. The desert is really, really dry.
Yeah, it was. Like, how could anybody survive that? Like, survive that
I
freezing
don't.
cold?
I don't think you can.
He must have survived
I don't think
by
you
the.
can unless you have like jugs of water with you.
Yeah, probably did, or maybe the power of God saved
Most likely, yes.
him.
Most likely, I will have to agree with you on that.
Yeah, like maybe because God was saving him for a purpose.
Yeah.
And also, especially towards the end, like this Moses, he was so reverent to God. He was so reverent and loved God so much.
You're right. Yeah. He did.
And also, and you didn't really see him show any regret towards him doing the plagues as well. Like it was just, oh, you have if you don't do what I'd say. Oh, but there was one woman, especially before the firstborns were dying. He said, "Oh God, please spare thy wrath." Like
Right. He did say
there
that.
was that one moment of regret.
He did say that. Right.
But it was very few and far between. Whereas Prince of Egypt, like you could tell, Prince of Egypt Moses was very remorseful. Like he didn't want to do what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like yeah, he hated what he was doing to the people of Egypt, to Ramesses as well.
I know. And it's like really heartbreaking in those terms.
Exactly, like it really is. And because these two brothers in that movie loved each other, like it was even more heartbreaking.
Right. Yeah.
But in this one,
Def-
sorry, in this one, oh sorry, Jackie.
well, yeah. I mean, there's like this one. I think Ten Commandments gave more context to the story.
They really did.
They really did, which like really is a classic to this day.
Yeah, it is a classic. It's one of the greatest movies of all time.
Definitely.
Mm. They did so much.
Hopefully they re-release it next year.
Hopefully they will. Like if they release it, I'm staying in cinemas.
I'll go see it in cinemas if they re-release it.
Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, and the way they did the brother as well, like Ramesses, it was like like he was a lot colder. He didn't really like he hated Moses, absolutely hated him.
Right, he did.
Yeah,
He did, and just showed what a true villain he was.
exactly. Like you can tell, even especially along like when Moses was, he was the more favorite brother. He was the one that was getting favor with Pharaoh Seti. Like he was gonna be the Pharaoh.
Right.
He was really jealous. And definitely a few scenes that made me and my friend laugh as well. Like
Oh, right.
His jealousy.
Well, they also had where his son just kicked the staff. I was like, what?
What? Like, why would the kid just kick him? Like,
The staff? Like, I'm like, is that comic relief they did? They just do that for comic relief because if you just see a kid kick a staff, it's just like a random moment. Like nobody was expecting that.
nope, nobody saw that coming.
I didn't see that. So I was like, he just kicked the staff. Oh, great.
Oh my god, that was just such a great. That was so funny.
I think that was, I don't know. I feel like that was probably improv for some reason.
It probably was.
I feel like that wasn't even scripted.
Or maybe it was. Maybe Caesar Jimmo. Or maybe Caesar Jimmo was like, "Here, kid, kick Charlton Heston." Okay. Boom.
Yeah, let's just kick his staff, and then that's all you're gonna do in this film.
Exactly. Oh wow. Oh wow. Like yeah, like he, a real bird. Like yeah, like he was just a very cold, evil villain, and
Yeah, definitely cold villain.
he had that rage. It was just so well done.
I definitely agree with that.
Hmm. And then what else was I gonna say? Like, yeah, I was saying, the mother again. The mother was very human. Moses' Egyptian mother was the daughter of the pharaoh. Was very humanized as well.
Right. Definitely that.
And then there was Nefertari, one of the coldest people in this
As
movie.
is, she's one of the coldest female characters probably written.
She's just
She is entitled. One word for her: entitled.
exactly,
That's
absolutely.
describe one word.
And how she,
Definitely. So
yeah. And then even when her son died, I was like, why aren't you grieving for your son? Your son died, and why aren't you grieving?
yeah, that's what I was like. I'm like, she's just sitting there, oh, okay, my son died.
Yep. And
Like,
it's
you're
your
not even crying.
I know, right? Like, any loving mother would just be like head up, would just like fall, would just be like devastated, devastated. I mean, she did like kind of hug his body, but
You have this vibe, but that was it. I'm like, she's not even crying, which is like the interesting part of it.
Moses like is. You ever seen? You're a terrible person. You're a terrible person. You're a terrible human being, and less of a man than Moses was. It was like, but yet later on, you told him to kill Moses.
And whose fault is that?
Mm-hmm. It's your fault, dear Terry. It's your fault. This is why no one likes you.
Yeah, well, she had it coming, so
Mm-hmm.
she had it coming either way.
Exactly. But she did try to reason Moses to tell Moses, you're not gonna don't kill my son. He was like, he's not gonna kill my son. He loves me.
And look what happened. Your
Yep.
karma came.
Exactly. Karma came.
The karma came, basically. That was like the whole point.
Exactly. Because the Ramesses refused to listen.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then yeah, exactly. And both versions really do show it's the stubbornness of Ramesses that makes the people suffer.
Right. Definitely agree with that one.
Yeah. And animated movie really just made a lot of mistakes on the fact that these are innocent people suffering.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
definitely.
this movie did as well. The people were suffering, innocent people were suffering, all because of one stubborn pharaoh.
Definitely. Definitely agree with that one as well.
Yeah, and the same thing was even after he lost his son. Obviously, he agreed, but it was that one moment I liked where he was telling this Egyptian put his son on the Egyptian statue. Was like, please revive him, show him that you're the more powerful than he's God.
Right. Definitely.
He had that denial. He didn't want to believe that his son was killed. That God is more powerful. That God is more powerful than any of his Egyptian gods.
Yeah.
What I liked as well is is that after she said and then even Secretary was like that's just a statue.
Yeah.
He had to confront the reality that these gods for him these gods didn't exist.
Yeah, he angered the gods basically.
Yeah, he angered God. Yeah, he angered the Hebrew God.
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
That was his fault.
Exactly. You could have listened, but you had to pay for your stubbornness.
Yep. Well, that's what you get for, messing with the gods.
Exactly. And then later on, and then same thing, and same obviously it's a story. Even after he lost his son, it was like I'm still gonna go after Moses and these people.
Yeah, but wouldn't you have thought that if your son was killed, you would have just said, okay, your people can go, and then that would have been fine?
Yep, exactly. You had to keep it
About it, in a perfect world, not literally, but in a perfect world, that's what would have been done.
Exactly. But he just had to keep being stubborn.
I know, and it led to his downfall.
Exactly. All his soldiers died.
Yeah, as they say, you made your bed, you lay in it.
Exactly. Again,
so he made his bed, and now he's laying.
Exactly. He became the weak link in the chain, just like the Prince of Egypt one.
Exactly.
And then obviously even earlier in the movie as well, Moses easily could have become the pharaoh. And I liked as well how he chose to become a slave amongst the people as well.
Right. Yes, that's a definitely good point to be brought up. I was a bit surprised by that.
Yeah, me too. I think because he wanted to find empathy. He wanted to find himself, and he learned and he found empathy for the peace people there as well.
Right, definitely did.
But so then different trying to tell him, why are you a slave? Why are you doing this? You could easily just become the king, and then you can do what you want. Then you can free your people that way.
Right, definitely that.
Yeah,
But
hmm?
so took another direction in it.
Exactly. He chose his own direction. He didn't want to be the king. He just wanted to go his own way
Right,
and find himself, and he did.
right. That he did.
Yeah, how the thing the Brady Bush thing was really well done as well.
Yeah,
The deep voice that they chose for the Brady Bush,
yeah,
definitely very fitting.
right. Burning Bush, that's right.
Yeah.
I liked how they didn't use CGI for this.
Yeah, and that's what we're gonna get to the
Really,
effects.
truly something people appreciate is like the usage of like no CGI with that.
Exactly, like the burning bush, the plagues.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was no and the red pond and the red sea. There was no CGI. It was all done either crafted or by hand drawn effects.
the models, probably models for the most part.
I really gotta look up how they did the effects because
Yeah,
the way they did it was amazing, especially considering there was no CGI.
right. Definitely,
Hmm.
definitely.
I really liked how they did the part of the Red Sea. I really want to know how they did the part of the Red Sea because that was like
Yeah, we could probably do some more research on that. So
exactly.
after this, I think I actually want to do more research on the effects now.
Yeah, exactly. We have to do some research. It's just great, great
Good,
effects.
yeah, that'd be great if we did that.
Like I want to say as well, like the scale of the movie, like so many actors in so many scenes as well.
Hmm,
At times it kind of
right.
at times it did overwhelm me. Even my friend said he's confused about what was
Good,
happening,
yeah.
but it's just
It did. You're absolutely right. It did because there were a lot of characters, and I couldn't remember all their names.
yeah, exactly. Whereas Prince of Egypt was more like it was more
Yeah, I didn't
destiny.
remember the names. That was the thing. Like, I really did have a hard time like remembering all the names in Ten Commandments.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Hmm. It's just but either way, like the costume was just perfect in it, and
Or miscasts in either version. So,
exactly, and the scale of both was amazing as well.
right,
Um,
definitely.
what else? Oh, I really like the storyline as well. Like, who was the name of that girl again? The one that was with Dathan?
Oh, Leela.
Oh, Layla. Like, yeah, and then there was the
Yeah,
story with her and Joshua. It was really sad, like how she was basically taken in, basically to be used as an object.
yeah. That scene really pissed me off.
Like, yeah, it was just absolutely horrible. It was like, come
That
on,
pissed me.
hmm?
That scene pissed me off.
And rightfully so, because the woman being used as an object,
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
not a good sign at all. Absolutely horrible. Just disgusting.
It's not a good sign when you do that to a woman. I'll tell you that one.
If you do that to a woman, it really shows who you are as a man.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm,
Definitely agree with that one.
yeah, and it's a horrible man, a failure of a man, basically.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
Mm. And David was one of the biggest failures of men of all time.
Exactly.
Like, was he one of the Jewish people as well, Hebrews, or what was he? Then
I think so. I'm not entirely sure, but I think you're right.
he was
I
so
think you're right.
mm,
Not 100% sure, but I'll have to research that.
yeah, and he was like he was very like yeah he was a traitor basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm. And then how they did as well, like unlike the animated movie only showed the Ten Commandments, only showed Moses doing the Ten Commandments, and that was it. Like it didn't really show any signs.
Exactly. They didn't really like give examples of what was going on before that. They just like dropped the tablets.
Yeah, but this movie really showed the drawing of the tablets. That was well done as well. That was
Right. Right. That's what I liked about it was more context given in those scenes.
yeah, and then also then the worship, how they were making the worship of the idols as well, like
Right. Yeah.
and then they were
Mm.
engaging all that revelry and being drunk and all the revelry and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
It was like, especially with Ten Commandments, it was meant to show these people were being stupid. These people were going against their God and just
Right. I totally agree with that.
it was because David urged him on too.
Mm, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He was the one that was always saying, "Oh, Moses, oh, he's not gonna help you. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
these God's gonna make you
I
suffer."
get that. I know.
Oh
I
wow.
know. I know. And now, out of how many cookies, what would you rate this?
I was gonna give it like 4 cookie crumbles because I liked the movie, but I didn't really like it as much as Prince of Egypt. But now that we talk about it, you know what? Out of respect for this movie and just for how great it is, I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5 cookie crumbles.
And I will give the same as well. So there you have it, guys.
Yeah.
Perfect movies.
Yep. Perfect movies. Absolutely perfect movies. Great movies. Classics in their own right. Ten Commandments, one of the greatest movies of all time, and I wager Prince of Egypt is one of the greatest movies of all time too.
Yes,
Now,
exactly.
yeah, both movies are different, but they did different things, and they both did them so right.
Right, exactly.
You could say there was no weak link in the chain.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, couldn't agree more.
Yeah. And now we're gonna have to end it right there as well. So for the next podcast, we're gonna do Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. Guys, please tune in since we are going down the Disney rabbit hole.
Exactly, we are. We're going down Disney rabbit hole again.
It's amazing how we go from one universe to another, isn't it?
I know, right? We go from Disney to biblical universe. Now we're going back to Disney.
Hey, well, it's always good to revisit the stomping grounds, right?
Exactly. And yeah, and then and yeah. So it's like yeah. So tune in next time for this. Like, comment, subscribe, and hope you enjoy this video. And we'll see you next time.
I'm Jackie,
I'm Jeremy.
and this is Movies and Cookies. Have a great weekend, guys.
Have a great weekend.